Capricorns, it's Ellie. I apologize in advance for any noises you might hear. I am outside, and so like my plan is to get, see, like noise right here. My plan is to get this room like soundproofed, at least like this area, so you'll hear less noise. But anyway, this video was actually requested by Aunt Erin, and it's for Jeremiah. This is a very serious topic. Jeremiah is going through a situation at school where he's being bullied by someone, and I was asked to give like some sort of advice for the situation. And the thing is, like, Jeremiah's doing the right thing. He's, trying to avoid it, telling the right adults in the situation, and doing everything that he is supposed to do as the child and as the victim. Unfortunately, even if you're doing everything right for yourself, some people are going through situations at home that are making them act out at school, and maybe you have no control over it. Jeremiah, you may be the coolest person ever, and because you're so cool, they don't like it, so they're going to keep pushing you, or they're going to keep punching you, or they're going to keep doing whatever it is that they want to do to try to hurt you. And the awesome thing about this situation is the fact that you have your awesome friend Andre, who's right there by your side. So it's awesome that you have a really, really good friend who's willing to be there for you and with you. And so what I said to Andre in the comments earlier was that, at this point, all you can do is, for one, you continue doing what you've been doing as far as telling the right people and expressing how you feel in the situation. So on top of that, you really just have to pray for her. And I know that sounds weird, and I know, like, I will tell you guys my story in a minute. Like, this first part of the video is really for you, and I don't want to take up a bunch of your time. But if you want to listen to my experience that I have with bullying, I'll go ahead and mention it later. But sometimes when you're dealing with people who are being mean to you and are not doing anything good for you, all you can do is pray for them. You can just hope that their situation gets better so they don't feel so terrible inside that they have to say something about you. Because really the only reason why someone would feel the need to do something bad to you or say something mean to you is because they have something bad going on in themselves, and you have nothing to do with that. And I don't know what your faith might be, but the Bible says to bless your enemies. That's what God wants us to do. It's what Jesus did. You turn the other cheek and you keep it pushing, and you do something for them. You don't have to do like a physical thing. You don't have to give them a gift. Or that would be nice. I don't know if your school does the whole Valentine's Day thing, but maybe you could be like, hey, this is a Valentine's card, and I hope that this can end whatever issue you might have with me. That's something physical that you could do, but I know that can also be embarrassing, that they might say no, they might rip up the card or throw away your candy or toy or whatever you did for them, and that might hurt your feelings even more. So protect your feelings. Instead of doing something physical or trying to talk to them, you can pray for them and hope that their situation gets better so they will perform better at school and not feel a need to bother you anymore. So my story with bullying, when I was in elementary school, I went to a predominantly white school. I don't know what race you guys are, as far as, Aunt Erin, Maddie, Baby Boy, Jeremiah, Andre. It really doesn't matter, but I went to a predominantly white school, and the thing is, some people were racist, and they were mean to me because of my skin color, but some of them were just ignorant, and they didn't know anything about people from my culture. So yes, there were some times where I had to deal with people calling me bad names, and there were times where I was kind of discriminated against because of my hair or my skin and different things like that. I found favor when when it came to athletic stuff. So when we were in gym class, people knew I was athletic, and they knew that I had these strengths and stuff, and I also was smart. So those qualities started to override the fact that I'm a black person. They started to see me as a person instead of just a black girl. But then as I got older and I started interacting with more black people, they started to discriminate against me because of the way I speak. I speak like a white person. I just speak properly. There's no such thing as speaking like a white person. But it was the way I speak, is the way I am, and it was this whole like, you think you're better than us type thing. And I'm like, look, I didn't pick the schools I went to, plus I was homeschooled for the rest of my high school years, so I enjoyed that, so I wouldn't be in a consumed environment. But regardless of any of that, those people made fun of me for my mental issues, and they knew that sometimes I wanted to end my own life, and you should never want to end your own life. And if this girl, this bully, is making you feel like you're getting to the point where you don't want to be on this earth anymore, you really have to pray to God for yourself, and or talk to yourself. Literally, if you don't want to pray to God, if you are not a Christian, and if you're not, feeling all that of what I'm saying, you can talk to yourself and say, I am in this grade. I will only be here for it's February right now. The next few months, this girl might transfer schools. We're not going to be in the same class. We may not live in the same neighborhood. You never know what could happen. Just talk to yourself and say, this is only temporary, and I know that I'm strong enough to keep going through my own life and not let this one person affect my entire life. And that's the thing, oh my goodness, it might seem so hard right now, but I'm telling you, it's not necessarily that things are going to get harder. Situations are just going to change. And so the way that you deal with the situation right now, it's going to be so different from when you get older, because I was dealing with people who were damaging me, but I'm also married. I also have a child. So when you're telling someone to end their life, you're telling them to remove yourself from your child's life, remove yourself from your spouse's life, remove yourself from your family's life. You have your sister, you have your aunt, and you have the rest of your family that you can be around. I love you, and everybody else loves you. So you shouldn't want to end your own life, where I tried to a few times. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I tried to a few times because I just didn't want to be in the situation anymore. And the first few times, it was not because I was being bullied, and that wasn't the case at all. I just had so many issues going on to where I felt like I couldn't handle it anymore. But God never puts you in any situation that you cannot handle. That's something that we all must understand. If you go through something, it's part of your story. That's all it is. That's why sometimes I tell stories on this channel. That's why pastors talk about their experiences. That's why traveling missionaries and everybody, they talk about their experiences, because your struggle could be someone else's help. I could be telling you this situation so you won't have to go through something like that in the future. Because had I or whoever is a mentor of yours not shared their advice or their wisdom, you could end up making the same mistake. And that's the last thing any of us want. And now we're in a totally new age where, we have things on the internet. And the thing is, like, if someone says something mean to me over the internet and I don't know them in person, it doesn't affect me. There's somebody on my channel the other day who said that my child should be taken away because his hair was a little nappy. And I was like, that's just mean. You shouldn't say that someone's child should be taken away because their hair is unkempt. My child is just very, very tender-headed, and I was doing his hair this morning, putting it in braids so it wouldn't be in a puffball anymore, and he was just screaming. I'm like, I'm not even combing your hair. So that's just the thing that we have to deal with him. He's just 2 years old. So I didn't let that affect me, and I was just like, God bless you. I'm not worried about what you're saying. Thanks for your comments. You're helping my YouTube algorithm, and that's all that matters. But the people who were trying to tell me to end my own life, I knew them in person. I was hanging out with them. I had been to their house. I think a couple of them had been to my house. And I thought we were friends. And so when the situation happened and they were telling me to end my life and making it public on Twitter, and they were going on my Instagram and doing all this stuff to me, when I know them in real life, it hurt my feelings so much. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't really understand either. When you know someone in person, it affects you so much more. I remember when there was a situation that happened, my friends pranked me on Facebook. It was years ago when I was like in middle school or something. They pranked me years ago, and they made a joke and said I had a crush on this guy. I didn't. And then all the popular kids started commenting on my page, and I'm like, you guys don't even talk to me in real person. Why are you guys on my Facebook page and you're engaging with this nonsense? It's a joke. I don't have a crush on this guy. And it just made me like crazy, because I was like, why in the world? I deleted it. And that's the thing. You just got to delete things and you got to block people. After that situation, I really had no reason to block anyone until this current situation that happened last year, where, they were telling me to end my life and everything. And so when you know people in person and they're talking to you online, that means they're a coward. That's all that means. If you can't say that to someone's face, they're just a coward, and they can't handle whatever might come to them after that point. Because I'm not gonna lie, I have a short temper. I'm a short person, and that's just what we're known for. So had the things been said to me to my face, it wouldn't have ended in me crying and being upset about it. it would have ended in me making bad decisions and hurting people. And that's not something that I want to do. So I'm glad it happened online rather than in person, because I know I would have not made the best decision at that point. And that goes back to my point that I was making before. God never puts us through something that we can't handle. If those things were being said to me in person, I would have made the wrong decision. So since they were said online, I was able to back away and not be making a terrible decision. But since you're going through your situation in person, like I said, you're doing the right thing. You're going to the right people. You have a support system, and that is all you need. You do not need to feel like you have to do anything else to change the situation, because the thing is, you can't change a person, especially if they're going through a certain type of circumstance that you have no control over. All you can do is pray for them and hope that things get better. I hope that this video helped you in some ways. Thank you so much, Andre, for talking to me. Thank you, Aunt Erin, for sharing with me the situation. This has been going on for like a week or two, you guys. It's been crazy. So I'm just hoping that this situation gets better for Jeremiah, and I hope anyone else who has any other issues with bullying, you guys can comment down below your stories and share any advice that you might have for Jeremiah. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later, unicorns. Bye.